Hello, welcome back to PlayStation Access. My name is Nathan, and this is more Nioh. Specifically, this is the hardest boss battle that I've done in this game, or I think in any other. Now, basically, in the recent last trial beta, once you completed the main mission Memories of Death Lilies, you got an invitation from the Warrior of the West. There he is, and it's a beautiful stage. I really like that intro, that loading screen as well, which is why I put it in. He's basically a rival who invites you over because he's heard that you're pretty good, and he is incredibly tough. So he's a human, he's not yokai, he's not demon. He's like dueling. Maybe the Revenants is the closest thing in the rest of the game to him. He did appear in the beta in August, I think, and there are tales online of people trying to beat him. I reckon I probably 60 or 70 goes in total. This is my first kind of aborted strategy. I read in the Nioh subreddit that high stance axe, I'm obviously using a wooden hammer, but it's my best axe weapon, was a good way to keep his ki down, basically to manage him so he couldn't get up again. Obviously the build that I had at that time wasn't probably not strong enough. I'm not really sure, but here are all the deaths basically just from. This is just from that same sort of 15 minutes of capture, and I've probably got another 5 videos of this which I just deleted because, you know, who wants to see me dying 50 times? So I went away basically after I died enough times, and I started exploring the Twilight missions, which unlock after the main game as well, after the main mission. And I came up with this build eventually through my time in the Twilight mission. And again, like, this is why I love Nioh. It's full of me. My understanding leaps on. My playstyle leaps on. I keep on kind of getting to new levels, I think, as a player. Look, this is my agility build. I've got all shinobi gear, and I'm very light on my feet. So this is like I was with the Twilight mission. I'm using the Kusarigama, and I'm trying to be agile. I'm trying to actually fight him rather than, you know, basically cheese him to death with a hammer. And it doesn't go well for hours. I had a couple of goes near the beginning where I got him below half, here, and that was really, you only need a few of those to keep carrying on. You think there's something in it, and eventually what I struck upon was kind of a mixture between the kind of the strategy that I read about online with the heavy attacks, because these fights, as all the fights in Nioh are really, but this one especially, is about key management, about you hitting your key pulses to keep your stamina high, keeping an eye on his, and then getting in with these sorts of attacks. I went for a high stance Kusarigama, and the reason is, what I really like about the Kusarigama is the spread of attacks that you get in medium, because his dodging is just nuts. I mean, he evades, he's got no ki, and he's dancing around the level. I found it so frustrating. This was the best way I found. It gave me a mix of depleting his ki, because I was forcing him into blocking and actually catching him off guard, and actually doing damage when I got through, so in instances like this. And I also found, this is really the key thing, when he goes into this sheathed kind of attack here, it's a bad example because it's the only time I mess it up, I think, but I was having a heck of a time dodging sideways in the low stance, even with, I think there are a couple of iframes in there, but even then I was having real trouble. And what I discovered with the high stance, the forward roll takes me right underneath that attack, and it gives me a much bigger window, so I don't have to be perfect on timing when he's going to release it. He can vary the length of time that he keeps it in the sheath. So that's what I was finding incredibly tough. Once I kind of hit upon this, I think this was only the second or third run. There's his, I think he's using a moment talisman there, like a little elemental attack from his guardian spirit. And I did not think that this was going to be, the fight right now is not going well. I've run out of, I've done him some damage then, but he's just under halfway, and I have run out. I had 5 elixirs at the beginning, and I've run out of all of them, and I'm under halfway. So this was kind of a throwaway, you know. I'm still at this stage kind of experimenting with a new strategy. I think I hit upon probably 3 or 4 strategies I was sure were going to work before I found this one. And the end of it is, in this setting, you know, against this, really, it doesn't feel unfair. Maybe right at the beginning he feels a bit unfair when you first get into grips with him, but like I said, there's always a glimpse when I played well, and when I hit upon a decent strategy, there was always a sense that I was going to have a breakthrough, and I was going to be able to beat him. Here I stopped being patient. I took a bit of a risk there, just started bashing him on the ground. I just really wanted him to die. And that was the best. That's the moment of elation was the best I've felt, certainly in Nioh. My god, maybe on any game so far on PS4. And I fought some bosses, Ishida Mitsunari, the Ogress, and Ogress on Twilight mode. None of them come close to Muneshiga, the Warrior of the West. That was crazy. 3 or 4 hours, lots of experimenting, a fair bit of leveling up, completely changed my character, completely changed my strategy, and I really like that we're still pals. And actually I get to use his Spirit Guardian, and I did. You can probably see that in a couple of other videos that are up on the channel. And the other thing, mustn't forget that here's a look at me wearing all of his clothes, because what is the point in defeating someone in a duel if you can't then just wear all of their trousers? And I've also got his sword and his spirit animal, so you can effectively become the Warrior of the West, or at least wear his hat. So that's probably the last Nioh video up on the channel for a while, at least until the game comes out on the 8th of February, when I certainly will be jumping back into it. Leave some comments below, let me know what you thought about this boss battle, Nioh in general if you were on the beta, and if you didn't understand any of this, then go and look at our 7 tips for beginners video. That is also up on the channel. Subscribe to PlayStation Access, we've got you covered for everything coming for PlayStation 4.